All right, here we are in a beautiful Phoenix, Arizona morning, looking at a very sweet, actually Leisure World, Mesa, Arizona area. Looking at a very nice, handling 3 cars for a gentleman here in this area, all meticulously clean. Very neat little 32 Highboy Roadster. We're going to walk around and tell you what we know as we do. And you know, I've spent quite a bit of time studying this car, top to bottom. Just a beautiful chassis underneath and a lot of high-end components. From what we know about the history, this car was actually built by Nick Serino, who was a 60s drag racer and drag boat racer. This was his car. It was used to represent the company, Big Al's Car Components in the 80s and 90s. But just a beautiful car, very well done. A lot of high-end components and polished billet. It's finished in a bright orange. I would call it a little bit along the burnt orange side of it. It was painted, the body and paint was done by Roundsville Auto Body out of California. We're going to walk around and tell you some pretty neat things about it. It has Halibran wheels on it. Has beautiful chrome plated exhaust on it with cutouts on it. It has a 355 ZZ4 350 V8 underneath the hood with aluminum cylinder heads, and we'll spend some time underneath the hood with you like we usually do. It has a Duval windshield on it. It's a Westcott reproduction body. It is a 32 Ford, titled as a 32 Ford with an 18 VIN. It's got big, beautiful tires on the back here. Just a really traditional styled highboy that's got a great look. We'll step back here and let you take a look on it. It has a Sid Shaver's bop top on it, finished in tan. Has a Gabe Lopez interior, kind of a chocolate brown. It's just beautiful in it, and it goes all the way to the trunk. So a lot of high-end components on this car. It has 4-bar rear suspension, Speedway engineering, quick change rear end in the back. That's all polished with chrome tubes on the back. Hang on to the undercarriage video portion of it, and we'll cover a lot more. Pinstriping was done by Little Louie. So you can kind of get an idea of the craftsmen that were involved in building this car. The Duval windshield and fitting a Sid Shaver's bop top on it is just nice. It's got a good look and a feel to it. As we walk around, we'll cover a lot of the suspension stuff on the undercarriage portion of it. This car is very well preserved and very well maintained. You'll never know the miles on this car. The gentleman that owns it, like I said, is very meticulous. And everything's really neat on this car. Step back here. I know the sun's a little bit weird, but we don't have any shade to work with today. Kind of give you an idea of the orange over here on the side. You can see how straight the body is. This car's just got a good look and a feel to it. Hot rod, baby. It's a hot rod. Up front, again, it's got a Pete and Jake's chassis, so it's got a traditional style 4-bar front suspension, dropped axle, louvered hood size here, 3-piece hood. We get to the inside here, we're going to cover some more for you here. It's got nice billet peep mirrors on it. Again, meticulously cared for. The top is spotless, the Sid Shaver's bop top. These come off easily. You can store them away in your hotel room when you're on a rod run. Got a nice, oh, you know what, grab handle right here. Has a neat little package shelf on the side. Sid Shaver's the Gabe Lopez interior. Still thinking about the bop top there. Just really nice. There's a lot of room for the big guy if you're the big guy. Good, very nice style. The carpet's a high-end wool style carpet. Little drink holder here that sits here. This is all leather here, low car style shifter, 700 R4, billet, ball mill billet pedal there, probably a low car. Here, up into here, there's a heater, which the hoses are not connected because he's here in Phoenix, and we'll cover that in the engine compartment with you here. But it does have a hot rod heater. This is a vent where you can open it up, or you open it here, and then it's got a little vent down here so to push the heat down to your passenger, your fine passenger. Up in here, there's a heater control knob for the blower fan right there, so you kind of get a high idea there. This armrest flips up or down, gives you a lot of extra room. Nice seat belts in it. Put this back up here. Gabe Lopez interiors are very nicely fitted and tucked, and they're all custom panels, vertical pleats, door jamb to door jamb. Just a really nice little car. video gauges in the dash with a nice little insert. We'll get over to the driver's side there in just a minute. Westcott body, early Westcott body by looking at it, but it's a beautiful body. These cars were good in structure, and they held up really well, and this one's held up exceptionally well. These Halibran wheels, I don't think I covered tire size in the undercarriage video. The front tires are a BF Goodrich. See if I can get them here. They're a 195/50 Z or R15 in the front. Has four-wheel disc brakes, power disc brakes, Willwood power disc brakes, polished calipers, underside's just beautiful. A lot of car for the money here, boys and girls. The back tires are BF Goodrich Sport Truck TAs, which a lot of hot rodder used back in the day. They're a 345 55 R16 in the rear. Gonna get back and give you a little perspective here. Beautiful looking little hot rod, especially from the back. You pull up to this thing at a traffic light or think you're gonna sneak up on it, this thing just will give you that feel where he's gonna just kind of leave you in the dust. Anyway, it's got a beautiful backside view here. Give you a little peek. We're gonna cover some time on the undercarriage, but very chrome exhaust with cutouts on the back, polished Speedway engineering rear differentials, got a couple extra sets of gears that come with the car. Structure of these cars are really important. This car, by the way, has a 36 gallon, you fill it from the trunk here, and you wouldn't even know it by looking at the trunk when we get in the trunk, but it's got a lot of 36 gallons. How far do you think you can get with this car in 36 gallons? A lot of these cars have a very small tank, 16, 18 gallons. And you know, you're fighting to look for gas stations and plan your trip, but not with this one. This car will get you there in the long run. It has nice recessed wheel wells here, and they're actually kind of like rhino lined up inside here. Prevent from stone chips. Again, Sid Javer's pop top, billet mirrors. Get you over here on the driver's side. I like the chocolate brown leather interior, goes perfectly, kind of masculine wise, perfectly with this burnt orange exterior on it. Again, the flip down armrest. Give you a view of the inside of the top here. Has nice little early style straight steering column. I don't know who made these in the day, but the turn signals are actually in the column here, which is kind of neat. I don't see those very often, that's for sure, if ever. A sprint car style steering wheel on it. Again, billet pedals. You'll see the high beam switch down there on the floor. Well taken care of car. We're gonna get in here. Back's been bothering me a little bit. Plenty of room, plenty of headroom for me. I'm 6'1", sitting in it, and I look straight out the windshield here. Video gauges, 17,392 miles at the time of inspection. I said you could drive it. You'd never know by looking at the undercarriage of this car. So full instrumentation, video gauges. Little blinkies for the turn signals are right here on the steering column drop down. Hood release is here. Fuse panels behind that little cardboard panel there. Ignition is nice in the center. Headlight switch. We just pulled it out of the garage, so it's not really warm yet. Big gas tank, like we talked about, sitting about half, so you're sitting about 15 or more gallons in there, still at half tank. Temp gauge isn't even up yet, it's charging. 50 pounds minimum oil pressure there. The oh you know what grab handle. Tack works. Remember, she's still cold right now. getting about 40 degrees out here. So we'll let it warm up. Go to spudsgarage.com. Have a great day. All right, let's take a look underneath the engine compartment. Again, Mr. Clean lives here. This is a very tidy, well-sorted car, kind of car you can drive, and it's been driven. Underneath the engine compartment's always fun for me to get into. You can really get a chance to study a car and how well it's maintained by looking at it, and of course how well it's assembled. It has a ZZ4 350 underneath the hood here, a 700 R4 automatic transmission built by the toy shop out of California. So a nice little automatic overdrive, Speedway engineering rear differential. Has short tube headers on it that go into steel exhaust. It has some, these are ZZ4 style valve covers on it. It has some ball milled wire separators, a ball milled polished aluminum air filter. This is a thermostatically controlled cooling fan. This car has no overheat issues. Has a really nicely done early billet alternator belt drive that mounts to the front of the aluminum heads of the ZZ4. You'll see the polished billet polished pulleys. Kind of give you a feel down here. The VIN for the it's an 18 VIN 32 Ford. Title is a 32 Ford. 18 VIN is right there stamped into the frame. GM HEI ignition. Has a Holley 4-barrel carburetor. Let's see here. It was built by the Carb Shop out of California. A little paper rolling around here. We'll go over to the other side here. You'll see it has a billet dipstick tube or dipstick. It's got a couple, you'll see up there on the firewall, the owner here in Arizona didn't need a heater. You don't really need a heater down here in the Phoenix market. However, it's a little chilly this morning, but when he went through and detailed the engine compartment, he elected to remove the heater hoses, which are easily reconnectable. It has a heater with a blower, and here's where the lines would connect here. So if you're going to a colder climate and you'd like to have a heater, it's easy to connect the hoses and voila, you got heat. Anyway, we're thinking you get the idea. This is some of the little Louis flames here. We'll cover it. We probably already covered it during the walk around, or little Louis pinstripe. I said flames, didn't mean to say flames. Anyway, just getting fired up here today. Have a great day. Hang on to the end of the video. We'll cover a lot more. Great hot rod. Hey, go to spudsgarage.com. All right, let's take a look at the trunk here. Very nicely done. Gabe Lopez interior follows out to the back of the car, and this particular gentleman, like we talked about during the walk around, is super meticulous about his cars. This car is very clean inside and out, top to bottom. A lot of high-end components on this car. It was built by a guy named Nick Serrano, Nick Serino, who was a drag racer back in the day, and was built for his business. So there's a little bit of history here. You'll see a picture of the car here on a brochure. He owned Big Al's car components. Basically, they sold a lot of hot rod industry components and that kind of thing, and this was his car to showcase some of his components, or his car show, personal car show car. That little brochure comes with the car, so it's part of the history. Again, nicely folded up high-end car cover that goes with the car. That fuel tank, the fill, is right here. This lifts up. Again, the high-end components. We're thinking you get the idea by now, but just nice and tidy. All right, let's take you to the undercarriage. Man, oh man, this whole car, top to bottom, is just sweet. Speedway polished rear differential housing here. Speedway quick change. There's an extra set of gears in the trunk. You've already seen that. Actually, 2 sets of gears for it. Very high-end car when it comes. I'm going to actually get down on my knee here because my back's a little bit off. Beautiful 4-wheel disc brakes on this. Willwood 4-wheel disc, polished calipers, polished backing plates, billet backing plates. A lot of chrome and trick stuff. This rear end is just impressive. Speedway engineering rear end, quick change rear end. It's got megs on the back here. You'll see 4-bar rear suspension, chrome coilovers, has a panhard bar up top there, all braided brake lines. This car is a high-end build. When you really get to the undercarriage of this car, we'll actually give you a good look as we go up. It has chrome-plated, custom-built chrome-plated exhaust on it, which has cutouts. You can see them right and left there where you can uncap it if you like. Well put together car. I'm going to get up and you'll hear me moan just a little bit. I'll actually fire it up, or you've already heard it fired up. Halibran style wheels on it. See the disc brakes there. You'll see the chrome 4-bar rear suspension. Again, the Speedway engineering rear differential. The mufflers are actually turned sideways, so they fit up there nice. They don't hang low at all. Typical Pete and Jake's chassis, very nicely done. A lot of structure on these Pete and Jake chassis. They're 1 3/4 tubular structure. These are built and designed for 32 Fords. You'll see the cutouts here. You'll see a remote power brake booster right here with a dual reservoir master cylinder just forward of it. Trying to give you a really good feel here. Typically I'd walk around, my back's been bothering me a little bit, so been down. 4-bar traditional style 4-bar front suspension, chrome plated 4 bars, chrome plated dropped axle. Again, braided lines up front here. This car's been driven, but you'd never know by looking at it. Very meticulous owner top to bottom. Again, Wilwood polished disc brakes, polished backing plates here, chrome gas front shocks on the front. Get down and kind of give you a peek here. Anyway, I know you're getting the idea with this car. Trying to cover it. Buggy spring in the front, so it's got a nice smooth ride with a 4-bar front and rear. Again, Pete and Jake's chassis. A lot of chrome plated and polished billet on this car. Give you a feel there. You'll see all the shine. This is a car you can put some mirrors underneath, that's for sure. Don't have a lift on this trip, but this one kind of speaks for itself. Go to spudsgarage.com. We'll definitely have more. Have a great day.